up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer A Day with TK. Today we're going to do a WTF Wednesday beer. For those of you who may be new to the program, WTF Wednesday is the one day a week when we showcase a beer we normally wouldn't do on the program. So sometimes that means we do stuff from the big boys, Bud Miller and Coors. Sometimes we do odd offerings from microbreweries, and sometimes we do stuff like this, malt liquor. Now, I grew up on malt liquor here and there. Now, I usually drink better beers, but I'm not averse to drinking Mickey's. It's actually one of my go-to favorites if I'm not flush.
We spent a lot of time drinking Mickey's and doing their stupid pictograms or
Let's not bring those up.
Or whatever it was.
Go pound sand, homie.
I can't believe you couldn't figure it out with all your 16 degrees.
I'd never heard that phrase in my life. Go pound sand. Never heard that phrase.
You know, I've heard that phrase like a dozen times since then.
Since I've heard it. Prior, never heard that phrase in my life. So, today what we have is something called Side Pocket High Gravity Ale. This is from City Brewery in LaCrosse, Wisconsin. I have never seen this thing.
I've never even heard of this thing in my life.
Nor have I. Where'd you find this, my brother?
I was in Colorado Springs at a concert venue called Sunshine Studios, which, in my limited point of reference, was out in the middle of nowhere. It's on the side of like a 4-lane divided highway, but it's not like not limited access or anything. But and across the 4-lane division, 4-lane again, is a little convenience store, Quickie Mart, whatever you want to call it. Kind of a crappy spot. But I walked over there just to see what was going on, see if there's anything good to eat. It had that like Hunt Brothers pizza sign. I thought I'd get a quick snack. Of course, there was no pizza. But I was over there, so I figured I'd peruse the beer cooler. And I see this. Never seen this in my life. I went, wow, serendipitous find. I'm glad I walked across all these lanes of traffic to find this in the hot, high desert heat of Colorado Springs.
Because it's WTF Wednesday material?
Because the minute I saw this, I figured this is an awful beer, and I need to force you to drink it.
Listen, this is going to sound messed up. Anytime I go anywhere to get gas, I go in and look and hope I find some crappy beer like this that will be a new, WTF Wednesday offering. I don't know, man. These excite me more than the big beers sometimes. Look, when you found Pliny the Elder and said, oh, of course, that's like God tier beer. But other than those kind of things, I kind of dig this crap. Like when you can find some weird beer that probably is not going to be great, but will make a cool WTF Wednesday video, I'm about that, man.
You know, in like the cartoons or whatever, when the character sees something they're looking for,
and
it's
eyes,
like the golden rays are coming off it. It's like, oh!
In a Tarantino movie, you open up the briefcase and the gold radiate. Oh!
As soon as I saw this in the cooler, that's what happened. It was like, oh! And the golden rays, I'm like, this is coming home with me. Now, I put it in my luggage and flew home with this just to do this.
I know nothing about City Brewery, although I do know LaCrosse, Wisconsin was the Heilman Brewery where Mickey's used to be made. My guess is this is probably like some contract brewed thing. Because when I looked up the City Brewery...
My guess is this is like bathtub gin.
Well, I looked at the City Brewery, and they had 2 other beers, and one was like that Pennsylvania Ice and Pennsylvania Lager or something that I saw my man Wayne Allen had checked into some of them on Untappd. And I actually remember him posting like one of them on Instagram or something and thinking like, how is a brewery in Wisconsin making Pennsylvania Ice, right? Like it seems a bit odd there, man. But they make this, and 8.5%. Ratings-wise, this might be one of the worst rated beers I've ever seen. Untappd has a 2.18. Beer Advocate a 1.99. I literally am not sure I've ever seen a beer rated this bad.
63 pour.
63 pour. It should say 63 drain pour, I'm guessing. But let's check it out. What the hell, man? Maybe it's not that bad. I expect low grades for like malt liquor on Beer Advocate because it tends to be maybe people that are a little more beer snobby. But Untappd, if you only get a 2.18 on Untappd, my expectations are not high.
I imagine this is the kind of beer you drink before you go see your PO.
Yeah. I would imagine this is like what the Portuguese Olympic team feels like before you go to the Summer Olympics. Like, maybe we'll get one medal, like a bronze in something, right? Like, you ain't going to win, but expectations are here. Oof.
If you've got to get rid of the DTs.
Dude, if you want to enjoy this, go to Beer Advocate and read some of the reviews of this. Absolute comedy gold. Absolutely hilarious things have been said about this beer.
There were some good reviews.
Color? Break out the handy dandy Brew HQ SRM chart.
It's about the color I expected it to be. I mean, cheap
It's
malt liquor.
it's probably like a five or something.
Yeah, cheap malt liquor.
It's got a little bit of like a lagerish kind of color to it. It's not completely yellow. Miss Roxy is frying herself between us right now. I don't know what she thinks we have here, but the dog is
She's probably trying to stop us from drinking this swill.
A few stray bubbles there, very fine bubbles. Nothing else going on. The head dissipated almost immediately.
Yeah, there's almost no head.
Let's give it a sniff, see if it smells. Not as bad as I
No,
expected.
surprisingly, there's no real scent to it, really. I mean,
A lot of malt liquors have that really gross adjunct, corny, sweet taste that I kind of hate. I probably said this before. The smell to me and the taste is usually like stomach bile, like that when you have the flu and you smell it and you're just like, this can't possibly be good. This doesn't have that though. I mean, it smells okay.
it almost smells like water, if that makes sense.
Well, it doesn't.
Like it smells like there's something there, but it's indescript.
It doesn't smell like corn or rice, like that weird adjunct.
There's like a slight sweetness to the smell, but it's very indescript.
But it's not that over the top one you usually get.
No.
So I mean, maybe that's a plus. I expected worse. Before we drink it, what do you think about the body? I think it's gonna be some syrupy grossness.
It's
doing
not,
this, like he's gonna gauge it and let me know.
It's not sticking to the side of the jar. I think it's gonna be pretty
We going for
watery.
watery?
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a shot. Cheers.
Cheers.
Initially, I thought not that bad. Then swallowed it. It was just like Jesus God. Body. Medium.
Yeah,
I think we both like chewing on it. Just like,
medium to light, but there's something there.
this is not good,
Something
bro.
there.
This is grossly sweet, funky, not in a good Bismarcky funky way, like a good sour beer. Some funky grossness to this. It's like that cereal adjunct grain, gross kind of sweet taste. The smell wasn't there, which was odd. For 8.5%, I don't think you get a huge burn, but you know that this is like a boozy beer. Although I do think I'm feeling like burning in my stomach now that you drink it or something.
This tastes like what I imagine West Coast homeless encampments smell like.
I was going to say bum piss, but you beat me to it.
I don't know what bum piss tastes like.
Probably this.
I know what some of these homeless encampments smell like.
From when you stayed in them?
Yes. I mean, this is... there's a bitterness, but it's not hot bitterness.
Yes. It's a gross bitterness. Like...
Bobcat's teeth.
Possibly. Oh, nothing's that bad. I was trying to think like... It's almost like, have you ever had a... What's that vegetable? I think my father would call it like a swede.
Dirt?
It's like, have you ever had a turnip, like that gross sweetness to a turnip or something? Like that bitterness to a turnip, rather?
An unripe vegetable?
Yes, it's like an unripe vegetable bitterness combined with a gross alcohol sweetness combined with... I don't even know, dude. I don't have words for this. Not good. Not good. And if you go back, look at my list. I have a playlist for malt liquors. It's not me bashing malt liquors. I like Colt 45. I like a lot of the malt liquors. Love Mickey's. This is for people that are trying to forget their lives suck for, what'd you pay for this? Probably $1.99 or something or less?
Yeah, less. It's got to be less.
I'm going to say you get what you pay for. This is not good. And if you try to buy cheap beer, I'm not nobody that drinks cheap beer. They're good cheap beers that you can have. This isn't one of them.
Have you ever sucked on a wet cardboard box?
No, I don't hope to, but
That's what I imagine it would taste like.
I was going to go with a roll of pennies that's been in the pool for 6 months. Like, it's just not good, dude.
Like, you know the saying, you can't stop looking at a train wreck?
That's why I keep trying to take sips from it. Like,
I can't stop taking sips of this because I want to be able to correctly describe
the magnificence of its terribleness.
So, years ago, I was in Minot. Is that North Dakota, South Dakota? Minot.
Mino, or is it Minot?
Minot. M-I-N-O-T. Maybe it's Minot, Minot. It's a big Air Force base there, whatever. I went to a brewery. Terrible brewery. One of the beers I drank, I didn't finish and described it as what it would taste like if you took the bar rag and squeezed all the juice from the bar rag at the end of the night into a glass and drank it. This is damn close. If you sucked on the bar rag at the end of a bar shift on a Friday night, you might get this flavor.
I was going to go a different route. I was going to go, when I was in college, people smoked cigarettes. And there'd always be a can sitting around that people put the cigarettes in.
And the dip spit.
And every once in a while, some drunk person would pick it up and drink it. I would imagine this tastes worse than that. Worse than that.
Cigarettes and dip spit in stale beer.
Yeah, this is a drain pour. This is a terrible disaster. Now, I will say this. I'm super thrilled we still got to try it.
But there's some booziness to it as well.
Dude, this is awful. Awful.
This was worth every penny I paid for it to force him to drink it. Even me suffering through it, it was worth it.
Listen, I ain't a seltzer dude. I'll never endorse seltzers. But if you're trying to get banged up for, $2, you can probably buy some seltzer or one of them Alka Pops, and it won't taste like a bum's ball sack. This is terrible, dude. This is the worst thing I've ever tried.
This is like the step before shooting up heroin.
This is the step after heroin, but you thirsty and still drink it. This is awful. Awful.
This
thumbs down, 2 middle fingers up. Worst beer I've ever had. Worst beer I've ever had.
Would you drink this or the Chelada?
That's tough. Now, I will say this. I don't think the Chelada's bad. It's just not a style I dig. You know what I'm saying? So Cheladas, especially, a lot of ones that I can't stomach and don't like, other people like, I can appreciate they're good, just not for me.
But you have to make a choice.
Which Chelada? I would drink the pineapple one I would do, that Clamato one, I couldn't do that at all.
So you would drink this for the Clamato?
Yeah. Yeah, just because the smell and texture of it just...
So the Clamato is like the bottom line for you.
Yeah.
And this is like...
This is... They square dancing together. They're both here. You know what I mean? This is bad, bro. Bad. Like, not...
They square dancing.
It's not for me. Not for me. Look, if you think this, good for you. You probably don't have the internet. I don't know. It's like
You probably don't
in your homeless encampment. Maybe it's Seattle and they got it. I don't know, dude. This is just not good. Thumbs down, double thumbs down. Worst beer I've done on the show. Other than, again, I can appreciate that I hate that Clamato, whatever, that other people dig it. Like, I appreciate it's a style thing. This isn't a style thing, because I like plenty of malt liquors. This is just bottom of the barrel garbage.
There's...
Quit pontificating. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I already gave it a double thumbs down.
That's right. Did you give 2 middle fingers up as well?
I'm saying this is the fucking juice that comes out of a garbage dump. If you want to drink some swill from the bottom of a dumpster...
Do you remember we worked at the Beagle and you dump all the bottles at the end of the night?
Yes.
In the trash can?
Yes, with the broken glass?
Yes.
That's what this tastes like.
I would drink that over this. Over this, yeah.
Wow.
Horrible. Whoever made this...
Wow.
Hide in shame. Go move to whatever embassy Julian Assange lived in for a bit. It was the Ecuadorian embassy. Go hide there. This is terrible embarrassment of a beer.
Anybody watching this video, go find this beer and try it. It's amazing.
For $2, give it a shot, dude, just so you can have the experience. It's awful.
Holy crap.
Hopefully, you don't think the video is awful. and you give us 2 thumbs up, not 2 thumbs down, and thank God there's no middle finger icon on Facebook or YouTube or any of those platforms. We might get a few of those. But hey, if you want to see more stuff like this, please hit subscribe. If you've had this monstrosity, let me know what you think about it, man. I'm sure there's somebody out there digging this, like, these 2 guys are way off base. This is what I dig. And again, look, I'm not knocking cheap beer. There's plenty of good cheap beers out there. This ain't it, man. Hey, till next time.
I ain't cheersing that.
Cheer. Fuck it. Throw it out the door. It is what it is. Drain pour. Drain pour. Till next time. Cheers.
Cheers.